A very good afternoon. It's Thursday, the 15th of August. It's just after 1 p.m., and you're joining us on the Lite Bite Lunch. I'm absolutely delighted today. It's taken me nearly 4 years to manage to tie this man down long enough to get him to come on the show and talk to us. We're joined by John Maloney from Suits You. So John
All
is going
right,
to
how are
quite
you?
all right, John. He's going to have quite a lot to tell us. So for the next half hour, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and join us for a Lite Bite Lunch. Yes, indeed. As I said, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by John Maloney from suitsyou.ie, who also has an absolutely lovely shop now located in the ILAC Centre, but we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. John, first of all, let's start talking a little bit about your background, because I know that you're just over 30 years now around the rag trade. And like, what brought you to that particular industry to begin with? Was it something you always had an interest in, or was it just something that happened?
Well, I was always into fashion, really, and I used to go into two guys who I eventually got started to work for and spend my wages with them every Friday. And one day I was in and they asked me, did I want a job? And I said, yeah, of course. So that started me off when I was about 20 years of age. Um, the two guys, Paul and Declan Bourne, they're still going at the moment, really good operators. I was with them for over 10 years. I mean, they gave me a good grounding in the trade, so I'd have to thank them for that. Um, yeah, it's been a lot of ups and downs, and when I left them, I went out on my own, and here we are today.
Yeah, well, I will declare a personal interest here because for the last number of years, John has actually supplied my suit for the Micro Business Awards, and from the very first time I walked in the door, have to say, felt like I was being treated like royalty all the time. So, as I said, that's why I've been trying to get him on the show for so long, because we've been looked after so well.
Well,
So tell me, when you were when you were opening that shop initially,
uh,
um,
we, op- we opened it back in 2012, and it was just after the boom and the bust. And we struggled for a couple of years, I have to say. We really did struggle, but it was probably the customer service and the touch that we had, personal touch, because I worked the store, and that's how we built up our customers over the years, and that's stood to us in good stead. Um, we had started with suit hire, and Black Tie had just recently gone bust, so we had an opportunity there. We had an opportunity to jump into that sector, and we grabbed it with both hands. It was a good opportunity for us at the time when people were on the way down and we were trying to be on the way up.
yeah, well, that's it. Now, I actually, with regards to the suit hire, I actually have a question here for you from Maggie. For weddings recently, a groom changed from black tuxedo to white jacket for the wedding dinner. Is there any significance to the white dinner jacket?
No, well, really, it's a kind of a personal touch for the groom, because basically all the guys, if it's a black tie wedding, are all wearing a black suit, and I know everybody that goes to the wedding knows who the groom is and who the bride is. But the groom sometimes like to distinguish himself from everybody else. It's a very nice jacket actually for a tuxedo wedding. It's a really trendy look at the moment. It's what's on trend at the moment. So I mean, everybody's going back to the tuxedo. It's a classic look. I got married in the tuxedo myself when it was 17 years ago. But it's amazing how the trends go around in a circle, and it's come back now. So a white tuxedo or ivory tuxedo jacket, it's a very nice look at the moment.
Absolutely. So you recently made the move into a much bigger store in the Ilac.
Yes.
And I have to admit, between the old store and the new store is like chalk and cheese.
Well, basically, when we moved into the store first, the Liffey Street store, we thought it was too big. We thought it was like we were never going to fill it. We were never going to get the custom that we needed. And I remember I spoke to an agent, a friend of mine, John Bourne, who said to me at the very start, "You might think this is small," he said, "but I'm telling you, you'll grow out of this." And we grew out of it, which is a good thing, actually. But yeah, the other store served us very, very well over the years. It was a nice, intimate store, but it's a strange thing to say. It got too busy then.
Yes.
That we had to make it a bit more comfortable for customers then, you know. So that's why we tried to make the move to the Ilac. And it's been good since we got here. We're here about just over a month now. We have a dedicated section for grooms. I think it come up out of the way a little bit more private. Downstairs is a lot bigger than what it was over on Liffey Street, so we can do a lot more brands and we can do a lot more casual wear as well as suits. And so yeah, it's been all good at the moment.
Now, I mean, you mentioned there about having your dedicated rental area. That's something. One change that seems to be happening a lot more is the brides are getting a lot more involved in the groom's selection of suit.
Yes. I mean, years ago, it used to be the guy would come in with his mate, best man normally. They'd pick out the suits and, not a word would be said. Everyone would be happy. But the bride now has a big team going on in their wedding, like the colours and everything else around that. And they want everything to tie in, really, you know. So it's best that the bride comes in because between the bride and the groom, you know, they can choose between themselves what's good for them rather than sometimes if you have a best man or a groomsman and maybe they might have a difference of opinion, which is not the opinion of the bride, if you know what I mean. So it's good to have the bride and groom in because you're guaranteed that's what they want.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, what are the hot trends coming for the season ahead?
Well, it's all double-breasted at the moment. So there's a lot of those double-breasted suits. It used to be everyone would wear a single-breasted suit, but now the trend is going to the double-breasted. We have a huge amount of tuxedos and double-breasted now. People are wearing just double-breasted jackets with chinos and all that kind of thing. So, but everything changes nearly, as the seasons go on. This time next year, maybe a double-breasted jacket won't be around. You'll always have your basic single-breasted two-button jacket. You'll always have that. So it's a bit like we have a green suit here, which we got 5 different colors of green in the suit, but years ago you couldn't sell a green suit,
Yeah.
And at one point we had the green suit here that we used to put in the window for Paddy's Week, and we used to say to the guys, if you sell that, you can keep the money. But we never sold
Yeah.
we never sold that suit. But it just shows you how the trends change all the time. So now we can't keep a green suit in stock. So that's just the way it is.
And it's quite bizarre indeed. And another question from Maggie. Is the check tartan material gone out?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a long time since we've seen that. And we buy 6 months in advance. So we see the trends coming. And it's a long time since any of the suppliers even showed us anything like that, But again, it's personal preference. I'm sure you'll find it somewhere, but it's not mainstream anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And another question coming in for you there. Did John say double-breasted with chinos?
Yes. So a double-breasted jacket, sometimes they come on their own. So at the moment we're selling kind of a cream double-breasted jacket and the buttons are navy. So it's nice to have a navy. Might have a navy loafer or a navy chino with that as well, with a white shirt underneath. So yeah, that's the kind of look at the moment. It's not a full suit, but they're being sold as jackets only as well. Because if you look at a lot of young guys, they used to wear suits to work, and now they don't have to. So the business we used to have a lunchtime trade where guys would come in and get a pair of trousers and you know, another shirt. But because the office has gone a little bit more relaxed now, they can wear what they want. So a smart casual look, and depending on what office it is, really, it could be a solicitor's office or, you know, it could be PwC or wherever it is. The guys want to dress smart casually, and they're either wearing a sports jacket or they're wearing a double-breasted jacket just to make a smart casual look.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just going to take a very quick break to talk about this. As we know, the Micro Business Awards finals are coming up on the 26th of October, when we'll be having a night out at Knightsbrook Hotel in Trim. There are still some tickets available. If anyone would like to book tickets, please do email microbusinessawards@gmail.com with the subject tickets and let us know how many you'd like. What you get for your ticket is we start off with some pre-dinner drinks and some networking. Then we will move in for the main. We've a gorgeous 4-course menu lined up for us by the fabulous team at Knightsbrook. After that, we'll go through the awards presentations. We do, of course, have a very special raffle on the night as well as a door for all the door tickets. So that makes for a good night too. And then after that, we'll all head down to the bar and relax with a little bit more networking and some light refreshments. So we'll all be able to sit back and relax. So, as I said, if you would like tickets, the email address is microbusinessawards@gmail.com with the subject tickets. Let us know how many you would like. We will then send you back your invoice for the tickets with a payment link. You click the link, pay it by card, and then you get confirmation that your tickets are booked and you're good to go. And of course, we look forward to seeing you there. Also, remember that voting for the People's Choice is still open. To vote in the People's Choice category, you can visit irishmicrobusinessawards.ie, go to the Enter page, scroll down to the form at the bottom, put in the name of the company you want to vote for in the People's Choice, and fill in your email address and tell us in a few words why you think they should win the People's Choice. As of half an hour before we came on air, between the first and 8th place, there is a total of 11 votes of a difference. So it is exceptionally close. There is only a couple of weeks left. Voting closes on that at 5 p.m. on September 1st. So hopefully, as I said, we will see some of the finalists from the People's Choice selection joining us as well in Knightsbrook on the 26th of October. Now, as I mentioned to you, John, every guest that comes on the show gets asked a question about their favorite Lite Bite Lunch. So for you, having a whole array of options around you, what for you is the ideal Lite Bite Lunch?
Well, my Lite Bite Lunch is normally a trip into Marks and Spencer's for a wrap and a bottle of Marks and Spencer's water and some Marks and Spencer's chocolate. That's probably been my downfall since next door to Marks and Spencer's, you know. We've moved, as you say, over to Dunn's now, and we're in the Isle next to Dunn's. And the food is not the same in Dunn's as in Marks. I might lose a few pounds now.
I will think about it this way. At least you'll get a few extra steps in walking across to Marks's.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. Keep trying to tell yourself the positive side of it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just around town the whole time. It's very difficult not to eat properly. It's hard to eat properly, you know. People say, oh, you have everywhere to go. But yeah, you have everything on your doorstep, really. But it's most all fast food or, you know, that kind of thing. So I like to grab a quick sandwich in Marks and Spencer's and have the dinner when I go home, hopefully, you know. She has it ready for me.
That's it. I should have actually mentioned when doing the awards promo there, Cheryl has just reminded me in my ear, that John has said that if anyone does actually drop into him in Suits You in the ILAC Centre and mentions that they're going to the awards, he will certainly look after them on a suit and he'll do something to make sure they get great value. Yeah,
100%. I mean, if everybody's wearing tuxedos, we sell tuxedos, we hire tuxedos.
Yeah.
Hire tuxedos. We'll give plenty of discount off.
Yeah, I know. Well, for the awards, we keep it smart casual, so it'll be more so the suit side of things. But as I said, it's a good night out, and if there is anyone, do certainly get in touch with John, and he will look after you. I know, as I said, from personal experience, I've been buying from John now since I think 2016 was the first one I got, and I've been back to him every year since because it's reliable, it's good quality, and it's good value. So we can't argue with when you've that happening.
You, Rory, thank you.
John, with the ever increasing in online shopping, what is the future for the rag trade when it comes to bricks and mortar stores?
Well, with the bricks and mortar, it's quite expensive, as you know, and a lot of the big companies would like just have a presence on the high street rather than what their sales would be. They concentrate on having the presence there, the bigger brands. There's not an awful lot of independence left. The bricks and mortar is quite expensive. It's something that you kind of really have to think twice about jumping into. But for us, because we sell suits, we need people to come in. People actually will have to come into the store to visit the store to be measured. So it's a little bit different for us from being online because we do have an online presence, but we don't sell an awful lot of suits online, whereas a lot of other stores that don't sell suits as such sell casual wear and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's difficult for them. But we have found a little niche where we actually have to you kind of have to come into the store to be measured. Well, look, if you want the suit to fit you properly, you don't really buy a suit online. And plus, we have, like as you said earlier, with the wedding hire. With the wedding hire, we've made ourselves a destination store. People are getting married, they look you up, they have to come in, visit you in the bricks and mortar. The guys who are in the wedding party, the groom and the groomsmen and the best man and the father of the bride and the father of the groom, they all have to visit the store to be measured. So that's been a good angle for us in the angles that have not been too good for other people that have a bricks and
Yeah.
mortar. But it is difficult out there.
Yeah. But again at the same time, where you mentioned about the customer service, I remember you actually telling me about an emergency dash to halfway around the country.
Yeah, I mean, one day we had this does happen. Now, this doesn't happen all of the time, but you do get some emergencies on the wedding days. We had a guy who got married in Kilkenny and he had this young lad with him. The young lad, I think, was 4 or 5 years of age, and he had a suit on. And we got a phone call to say that the wedding had taken place, obviously, and the bride and the groom and the young lad had gone off for some photographs. But on the way back to the hotel in Kilkenny, the young lad got car sick, and he got car sick on the groom. So the groom had no suit, right? But he rang the store to see what we could do because we'd have a network of people that would have stock similar to ours and might be near him, right? But there was nobody near him. So I checked the phone and looked at the Google Maps and said, how long is it going to take me to get down there? So from the city centre was just over an hour. And I said, look, we can drive down if you want us to. So we got the groom with the same suit, the same sizes, and I drove down to Kilkenny to give it to the groom. You know, that's probably the most extreme one we've ever done. But it does happen. But had he been getting married in Galway or something, he was stuffed. You know.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. I mean, but again, it stands out.
Oh,
What has made you stand out is your level of customer service.
yeah, when those suits came back, I mean, the guy was unbelievable. He gave us, he couldn't believe that we'd done that for him. But it was just his day, and the way we looked at it was our suit, you know. So whatever we could do from me, he came back brought the other guys' suits back. He had bought his own, hired the rest, and he left the other suits with us and gave us a brilliant review, and gave us a bottle of wine, and all this kind of thing. But that's just part of it. I mean, it's down to us to make sure that the suit fits on the day. We've some things that are out of our control are still. It's down to us to make sure that we can do the best we can for the bride and groom.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in terms of you mentioned about the review. In terms of social media, how important do you feel those reviews are to you?
Hugely important. Hugely important. I mean, everybody looks at the reviews now. I mean, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, you can't get a good review all of the time. But we have, touch wood, we've a lot of good reviews. We've good guys working here that take care of the customer that comes in. And basically, we have a rule here for, if you were getting married with us, and we were putting the suit in your bag, and it was a hire suit, and the hire suits obviously they've been worn before, but they do have a shelf life. So if you have somebody who's one of the guys says to us, "What do you think of this jacket?" Our QC is, "Would you put that in your own bag if you were getting married?" And if the guy said no, so you don't put it in anyone else's bag. So the reviews are really, really important, and we make sure that we keep the standard up, that we don't get a bad review. And obviously, things go wrong, and people are sometimes are not happy. But on the main, most people are extremely happy with the service that we give. And with social media, the groom and would share photos of the wedding, or someone would share photos of a christening or whatever it was, and people look at these things. The reviews and social media and people, your own customers posting photographs, that can't be taken for granted. That's part of the business, and you need to be on top of that as much as you're on top of everything else around the store in the bricks and mortar.
Yeah. I mean, again, I know you've had quite a few celebrities through the door, and you don't take the approach that a lot of other shops would do of whisk them around, roll them out in front of the cameras. Like, you're very much respectful when the celebrities come in, and if they want to post that they were in your shop, you're not going to object. But you don't jump on those opportunities.
No, but, but look, listen, when celebrities walk in, it's kind of, they just walk in. It's not as if they just stumbled across us. I don't think they've ever Googled us and come in. I don't think we're that we're that good. But we've had loads of celebrities in. Like we had Chris Eubank in last year, so that was a real surprise. He just walked in the door, and we were like, "I think this is Chris Eubank," and it was. So we had a chat with him, and he stayed for about a half an hour, and he was actually looking for a belt of all things, and he was a 30 waist, which is kind of hard to believe, but he's still built like a mountain. He's in great shape for his age, and 30-inch waist. So we looked after him with a belt, and we asked him, could he get a photograph of him? He took my phone actually, and took a photograph of all of us in the shop. He took the photo, and he said to me, you can use that photograph anywhere you want. And I said, okay, that's great, thanks. But when he walked out of the store, he actually posted that on his Instagram page, which he didn't have to do, but he'll have millions of followers. But he was a lovely guy. But that's just one of many that have come into us,
Absolutely. And as I said, it's great to see that they're comfortable enough to come in and know they're not going to be hounded, because let's be honest, much like everyone else, celebrities talk, and celebrities know the places where they're treated as human beings and they're given their space and whatnot.
We had a stroke of luck actually, because the day that we opened in the Oilex Centre, Devon Toner came in, an Ireland rugby player, and he was looking for a suit for his young lad, and it was just the very day we opened, which was such a good thing for us. But he was a lovely guy, really lovely guy, nearly 7 foot tall. Got a photo with him. I looked about 2 foot. And but he was a really nice guy, yeah. And it was just pure luck that he walked in on the day that we opened. But that's just the way it works. People just walk in, and it's great that people walk in. It's great to talk to people when they're in, and understand what they work at. And you meet a lot of interesting people. They don't have to be celebrities, but we could stand and talk to most customers. We could probably write a book on this shop over the years, but probably some things we couldn't tell you on air here.
Absolutely. And tell me, if you weren't doing what you're doing, what else would you like to have turned your hand to?
Oh, believe it or not, before I get into this thing, I was a craft baker. Left school when I was 15 and studied in Kevin Street and all that kind of thing. And when it was during the COVID times, I have 3 young lads now, and during the COVID times, I was actually going back baking, making cakes and meringues and all this kind of thing. That brought me back, but I couldn't see myself doing anything else than what I do now.
Yeah, and again, I think your passion and your drive and your love for what you do stands out. And as I said, from walking in the door of the shop, you get that feeling.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell me, because I'm just watching the time there, I'm just conscious that I don't want to run out of time with you. What's next for the shop?
Well, this is a brand new chapter that we have here. It's a bigger shop. It's you know, there's a lot more responsibility to come with this shop. We just want to get for the next 12 months, get this off the ground. We're kind of well known as it is already, and we have the other store we have is a clearance store, and we redirect people over. It's only about 50 meters away from where we were before, so I don't think we're going to lose that customer, but we're gaining new customers here now. So, but this is not, it's not the unknown, because it's kind of, you know, we know what we're doing here at this stage. It's just a matter of building it up and getting the business on a steady footing, and, you know, making sure we've all everything in place to pay people and keep the staff and keep the place going as smoothly as we can. It's like, really, if it was, you know, if it was that handy, we would have been in a bigger shop a long time ago. So it takes a bit of build up, and it takes time to get your customers together and your repeat customers and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, it's head down. You're asking me what I'm going to do for the next 12 months. It's keep the head down.
Keep the head down and focus on building what you have and build on that. Absolutely. And if anyone that's been watching today wants to get in touch with you, we do have the website for the show, suitsyou.ie, scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. But I presume through the website, because all the socials are there, and the phone number, the whole lot is there.
TikTok. Ideally, if you want to come into us, pop into the store. It means you can have a feel of what we do, and what kind of our prices are, and how we will be able to look after you, all that kind of thing. It's best in store, which is, if you go back to the bricks and mortar thing, you know, I don't think you can beat bricks and mortar.
Oh, absolutely. Well, John, I know that you literally ran away from customers to jump on with us today. So again, I really do appreciate you taking the time. We will be back with you in 2 weeks' time. We will actually be coming to you live from Ennis, County Clare, where we're being joined by the owners of the Woodstock Hotel. And we're actually going down to the Woodstock to do the show live from there in 2 weeks' time. So that'll be a little bit of an adventure. In the meantime, all that's left for me to do, as we come up to about a minute and a half to go, is wish you all a very good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your Lite Bite Lunch.